Hart.
And I'm Nash, and we're with BuzzBooster.tv.
Yes, and today we are in a very special place, right?
Yes, we are. Very fun place.
Yes, Blogworld Expo.
Blogworld and New Media Expo.
Exactly. We've been coming here since the very first one.
Yes.
Yeah, and to really tell you the truth, this is one of our favorite shows. Not only about the information you get the new technology out there, you get the cool things that you could be using in your business.
You meet great people.
You meet great people.
You go to the parties.
Well, that's good too, but you know what I like the most?
What?
Really to get to know people that I'm connected on Facebook and Twitter, that they've been following us, and then we really meet them.
Yes.
It's really cool.
That is very much fun.
Can I tell you what I don't like?
What?
That you go to the networking meetings when people can really interact and you know, make some great connections, and you see this line of people sitting on the floor on their phones and come on people, this is not what social media is about.
So we were at a networking meeting yesterday morning. So people were talking but then we look off to the side and folks were sitting on the floor just looking at their laptops and their iPhones and things like that.
Yeah.
They're missing out on the opportunity. They can do that at home.
Yeah, it's so much nice to say, hello, nice to meet you.
You're so cute.
Real interaction counts a lot more, and be in the moment, you know, enjoy that you're being here and you really have access to amazing people here, and you know, when you have a break, then you go and tweet and Facebook and do whatever you have to do. Okay, what about this show?
This show is awesome.
Yes.
I really like it.
As all of them.
As all of them.
Yeah, well, we talk to a lot of speakers and they want to share some of their knowledge with you. We also talk to a lot of the exhibitors here, some cool plugins that we saw for WordPress.
Very cool plugins.
Things that you can use in your business, and they are also giving you some very good tips. So
very good tips.
I do believe you're going to enjoy this a lot. You know, I have something else to say.
What?
A word of advice when you're promoting your business. We've seen a lot of QR codes here.
Yes, they're fun.
They're very fun, and we've been talking about QR codes.
Any chance we get, we whip out the phone and click, scan it.
Yeah, so it's a big thing for business.
It's a huge thing.
But what
happens?
happens?
Possibilities.
What happens?
Well, you take some big companies, for example. Should we mention names?
No, we shouldn't mention
names.
All
right, but some big, car companies.
Big companies, it's enough.
That you likely drive.
Yeah, they're not the only ones. There were several, actually.
Several, but they have a QR code, and it's this great trip, like this great contest, and you scan it, and you get to drive the car, blah, blah, all that. But guess what? When you do it, it's only for iPhone users.
Yeah.
That's a terrible mistake.
Yes, the Android market is just booming.
It's a huge market, and they're totally excluding entirely that market.
Yes, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't, because it's not only a big market, it's growing by the minute.
Yes.
So by putting your QR code friendly just to one kind of phone, you're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the point?
Now you can watch the show.
All right, have fun. Myself.
Okay, cool. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, I'm here with Jason Falls, author of No Bullshit Social Media Marketing.
Yeah.
Well, first, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Give us some ideas of do's and don'ts when a business is trying to start marketing online.
Sure. Well, I think the biggest mistake that a lot of businesses make when they're trying to market online is that they don't think of social media particularly, but other digital marketing aspects from a strategic standpoint. And you really have to understand how these channels and how these activities ladder up to your overall business goals so that you're not doing these short one-off trial and error sort of programs, that you're actually doing something that you can monitor, measure, and build on over time so that it produces better outcomes for you. And so in the book we talk about how to approach social media marketing strategically. And in order to do that, you first have to know what social media can do for your business. And we have 7 business drivers in the book that we talk about, and so those are sort of what is possible. Then you have to choose which of those 7 you want to focus on. So maybe you want to focus on performing customer service online. Maybe you want to focus on research and development. Maybe you want to drive sales. There's lots of different reasons you would use social media marketing. Once you pick which ones that you want to do, then you go through that strategic planning process that all business owners know how to do. Set goals. Establish objectives that have, sort of deadlines and expected levels of attainment and target audiences, so that you can then develop strategies and tactics that keep you on task. When you do that, you actually make measurement easy because it's all laddering up to the business goals, not how many followers or friends you have. Those are important pieces of information to track and trend because there might be a correlation between how many followers you have and how much money you make, but there might not be. So you need to focus on making sure that overall goal is what you keep coming back to.
Yes, and do you think every business should be using social media today?
I'm one of the few people that might say that every business doesn't necessarily need social media. And one example that I use is the example of a friend of mine who owns a lawn care company. He has 3 crews in a fairly large metropolitan area. So he has a capacity. He can't do more than X amount of lawns per week or per day. And so his social media strategy, when I was asking him about it, I said, the first question I asked him was, how do you currently get your customers? What works? And he said, well, when I started cutting your grass, 3 of your neighbors asked if I could cut theirs. So I said, well, your social media strategy is to put down the computer and go to a neighborhood where you're not cutting grass and cut somebody's yard for free, because that's how you're going to acquire customers faster. So not every business needs social media. Now, my answer would have been different had he had 40 crews across 2 metropolitan areas and had a much larger capacity, availability. But in that situation, for that small business owner, he doesn't have time. And the time is not going to be used efficiently if he's messing around on Facebook and blogs and not focused on that next, availability, filling that spot.
There are lots of social media books out there.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to write this one?
Well, I think the reason that Eric Deckers, my co-author, and I decided to write this one was because we felt like there was a void in books that actually sort of cut the BS about joining the conversation and whatnot, which are not 100% BS, because you need to do that to be successful as a best practice. But, kind of cut the bull and the frills about it and say, hey, how do I use this for business? How do I plan strategically? How do I ladder up to business goals and objectives? And what's the blueprint? How do I make this happen? So we wanted a book that would deliver on that, and we think it did.
Yeah. And just one more question. You talked about engagement, and it's an overused word out there. But it is true. Well, business owners are busy doing what they do best, right? What's your take on this join the conversation part? Because it is a tricky subject for business owners.
It is, and again, it goes back to the answering the question, do you have the capacity of resources? Do you have the time to invest, to nurture and build something along? Some business owners don't. And one of the examples we use in the book is a real estate agent who's like, I don't have time to engage in the conversation, but I do have time to take out very hyper-targeted advertising campaigns on Facebook, which is still marketing through a social media channel and delivering a more relevant advertisement to a relevant audience in the right place at the right time. And so he'll read a story of a company relocating to his town, and he'll go on Facebook and he'll pick out an ad for real estate and target only people who work at that company, so that ad appears to a much more relevant audience, and he gets much higher, click-through rates and conversion rates on that type of marketing activity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And again, Jason Falls with No Bullshit Social Media Marketing.
Hi, I'm Jay Baer from Convince and Convert. My blog is at convinceandconvert.com. And we talked today in the session about content marketing and thought leadership and how much companies should give away what it is that they know online, whether it's a blog, it's a podcast, a presentation, a video. And there's no easy answer to that question. It really depends on the type of company you are, how much time you have, because all of this content creation, just what we're doing right now, making videos and putting them online, this isn't free, right? This takes time, it takes effort, it takes resources. So all of this content marketing has a cost associated with it, and you have to figure that in to your company and whether it makes sense for you. And then you also have to understand, what are we getting back? Right? Are we just blogging because it makes us feel good? Are we creating content that actually generates leads or sales for our company? Most organizations don't do a very good job of figuring out the success metrics of whether this actually pays off for the company. So they do it for a while. They say, well, it feels good, or maybe it doesn't feel good. They just don't really have a sense of how to measure the effectiveness of their content marketing program. So that's really step one, is to figure out how you're going to keep score. And then step two is figuring out how much time you have to tell your story out there. And the third step is to figure out where you're going to tell your story. Obviously, you'll create content and put it on your own website, on your own.com, but there's a huge opportunity to create content and put it in places that you don't own and you don't control. Places like SlideShare. SlideShare.net is essentially YouTube for presentations, for PowerPoint presentations. It has 47 million visitors a month. Your website does not have 47 million visitors a month. Huge opportunity on SlideShare, huge opportunity on sites like Scribed and other places that have audiences already that can find your company, find what you're all about by you putting your content there instead of having to take everything that you make in content and owning it and putting it on your website. So distribute your content out there. Be a digital dandelion, and you'll be a lot better off.
Hi, my name is Neil Weinberg, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for ThingLink. We have a really exciting opportunity here for bloggers in that you can now take the images that are on your blog and you can add rich media to those images, video, sound, Wikipedia entries, also e-commerce tags for Amazon, using ThingLink at thinglink.com. So this is a really interesting plugin for WordPress, for Blogger, for all the major Tumblr, for all the major blogging platforms. So now every blogger can sort of better monetize their blogs using images. And what's cool about this is that images on your blog become much more engaging, up to 50 times more engaging, so readers stay on the images longer because they're clicking through the videos and the sound, the Wikipedia, the commerce tags, information tags. They stay on that images longer, but they can also share the image to other blogs and websites so that you get traffic coming back to your blog. So this becomes an incredibly viral thing for you. It becomes a way to make more money from your blog, and it becomes a really exciting way for you to engage readers in the content that you're putting out, because you can turn these images now into stories, much more storytelling, much more discovery inside images. You can do all this for free at thinglink.com, thinglink.com. We invite you to come over. And there's also, if you want to know more about it, you can also go to blogger.thinglink.com and download all the information about how you can get started.
Awesome!
That was great.
That was really great. So much good information, and
yes. Mind-blowing.
Yeah, we were even able not to talk on the show too much. Yeah, now you had the experts to get in touch with. Go check their websites, go check the stuff they have for you, because these are people that know what they are doing.
They do.
And see you next time.
See you next time.